And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all had a great holiday season. We got one missing tonight. Reggie's in Arizona doing some golf, doing some hiking. But Drums and I are going to hold down the fort tonight. So sit back, pour yourself a nice cold beer, and we'll see you in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. We're going to kick things off a little differently than we usually do, as we are sans Reggie, doing a little nice AZ trip. Looks beautiful there. So we're going to send it straight to Rossman, Manitoba, see what's going on with our boy, Jor. How's it going, buddy?
Going good, man. I haven't heard from Reggie today.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even send him a link to possibly join in if he had some free time tonight. So probably should have, but I figured he'd be busy. It's tough to do a podcast when you're on a trip. But
he's got more important things.
He's got more important things. He got turned around a couple times. He was supposed to go to Cancun. And then, of course, the old Sunwing stepped in and said, no, you're not going to Cancun. And then he tried going to Cuba, I think. And then he was on hold for 4 hours or so, and he didn't get through. So they ended up in Arizona, which is not a bad place to be.
No.
But it's
better than Dauphin.
Better than Dauphin, better than Rossman, better than Brandon. But it's been pretty damn nice here, actually. It does not feel like January the 4th. It was like -9 degrees yesterday, although I had a game with the Rossburn Hornets last night in Oakburn Memorial Rink, which it was -9 outside and probably -39 in the rink. But it was pretty fun, actually. It's a really small rink, Oakburn, as you would imagine.
I didn't even know they had a rink, to be honest with you.
No, I didn't. I feel like I've been there before a couple times as a kid. I'm sure you have too, but not in a long time.
Yeah, we would have had to have a tournament or something there.
And so anyways, the guys go to line up, and I was kind of the last one on the bench, so I only saw 4 guys on the ice, so I just skated to fill the wing spot, and everybody's like, oh, we're just playing 4-on-4. The rink's too small.
So the whole game?
Yeah, 4-on-4 the whole game. It was actually perfect. Actually, it was a lot of fun. What's that?
I said that wouldn't actually be that bad.
No, I think 5-on-5 would have been a little bit too much for the rink, but it was cool. It was really old school. It had like the rectangle, or not the square nets, you know?
Oh yeah.
And it was good. It was a lot of the Shoal Lake boys actually that were playing on the Oakburn squad, and
Nice.
It's weird. I haven't seen like who would have been on there. Well, Troy Schwaluk was on there.
Okay.
Kerry Finley, Tyler Stebleski. I'm pretty sure it was him. It's funny how you don't see guys for like 20 years, but you saw them as like a 10-year-old, and then all of a sudden 20 years have passed, and they look exactly the same. They have the same mannerisms on the ice.
Right.
So it was good.
Isn't it crazy that would be 20 years ago already?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, depressing, but
I feel it every day.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Anyways, we'll get into the holidays maybe right after you, but what's going on in Brandon?
Same old shit, man. Made it through the holidays. We did actually, I got sick twice over the holidays, 2 separate days out of commission.
Really?
Yeah, missed one day of work in between Christmas and New Year's, which wasn't a bad thing, but I was wicked sick, like sick to my stomach, where like I would sleep for 2 hours, wake up, puke for 20 minutes, and then just right out. Like I did that for 24 full hours. So I don't know what the hell went through our house at Christmas time, but just another day in our life. It's just a revolving door of sickness around here. It's fucking crazy, to be honest with you. So I was like, that's enough of this shit. We're buying like air purifiers. We got a bunch of stuff, to everything we can do to this place to make it as not sick infested as possible. But that little monster that sleeps down the hall here, he just brings everything home with him. So can prepare yourself as best you can, but we're gonna get it. But like, I don't remember ever growing up. Do you remember your parents sick?
No, I don't. And I mean, if you asked my dad, he would tell you that he probably didn't have a sick day in the 40 years he was at the credit union. I mean, I remember him being sick with allergies and stuff, but I don't remember him like ever down and out laying on the couch for a whole day.
Or like a cold or something like that, right? But yeah, like the shit that goes on with a 2-year-old at least is just holy Christ. But we'll power through.
Yeah, I was actually sick too for the first time pretty much this year. I managed to get through the flu season. Usually in the fall I get sick a couple times, but I got through it. And then we had our Headley Christmas in Brandon at one of the hotels there, and I think it was just so many kids in the pool, and we were just hanging out around the pool area. There's a ton of people in there, and I got sick for a couple of days. It's funny how much work goes into trying not to be sick, because it's usually a couple of days. Like, you can feel it coming on, and then it's usually one day for me, bad one. And this one happened to be on New Year's Eve when we were going to Dauphin to hang out and have some beers. So there's a lot of work to trying to counteract an illness, and made her out. Still kind of feeling the effects of it a couple of days later, but I mean, it's normal to get sick.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It's probably good for you at some point, but
yeah,
the constant sickness, I'm getting over it.
It's a little bit much for sure.
Yeah. And like Liz is still like, she's been sick for like a month straight. It's crazy. She'll be like good for 2 days and then straight back out again. So I don't know what the hell's going on around here, but
I think that's the case with a lot of people.
It is. It's weird, and I don't know. We could get into it, but I think that's another pod.
Well, we don't have Reggie tonight, so we could.
The brakes are off.
Speaking of tonight, we got a couple of different things going on. We have our golf Saskatchewan. We're going to do our housekeeping first, obviously. I don't think we have too much tonight, but we have our golf Saskatchewan. We ran a poll on Instagram and Twitter. We got 4 finalists. We got pretty close to the winner. I think we got a couple hours left in the poll, but we're going to share who won. We're going to go through the courses. We're going to talk about some maybe less well-known courses in Saskatchewan and kind of how far they are from our home base in Brandon and Rossman. And then we're going to do an update on 88 Sats. I don't know if people are getting tired of hearing of this, but it's pretty at the front of mind right now. It's been a lot of ideas coming in from my brain, from other people's brains, and it's pretty exciting stuff. So we're going to share some updates tonight. We're going to answer, I think Drums has about, how many questions? 7, 8 questions from people. And hopefully give a little bit more clarity on a few things that people are wondering. And that's about it. Drink a couple beers.
There we go.
So, Drums, do you have any New Year's resolutions? And if anybody's in the chat right now, feel free to share yours, in golf or otherwise.
I've actually made a note of it in my head to write them down and post them somewhere that I can actually look at them.
That's important.
Excuse me. I haven't got there yet, so that's on my list. But I am going to do it, and I'm hopefully actually going to follow through with most of them. I'm going to kind of like, in the back of my mind, I'm going to know that you're going to have one out of, I'm going to list 5 things, and I know that I'm going to not meet one of them. So at least going in for myself, I know I'm not under the ball that much. So I can update once I get them all figured out. I got a bunch of, so that might be next year.
Yeah.
What about you?
It'll be February and then March, and then you'll be back into the old habits.
That's how I roll.
That is important, though. I wrote down my goals for the first time, probably in a couple of years now this year. And it's still on paper in the kitchen table, but I'm going to turn it into, I got like a little King golf notepad. I'm going to put it in my room. So as you said, I think it's important to see it every day. Probably the most important part of it, just to keep it top of mind. And yeah, I mean, I got goals related to King Golf for Silverstone. I think my big one actually this year, because it's going to kind of tie into everything for me. So I want to get 250 new people into Bitcoin, using Bitcoin, how to use it, download a wallet. I think it's achievable. and 88 Sats is going to be a big part of that. It's actually pretty cool how it's all kind of tying things together and bringing some new people into Bitcoin. Probably got 5 or 6 already this year, which is a pretty good start. And yeah, only 4 days in. So that's the main one. Got a couple other ones too, but they're a little bit more personal, I guess you'd say, not for the podcast. nothing weird like that. It's just like nothing that anybody needs to know.
I don't know. It's kind of a personal thing too, but I think
is for sure.
But sharing a little bit of it like also helps to hold you accountable too, right?
Absolutely, it does.
What about the holidays? Where were you? Where did you get to?
Well, it was kind of a weird year this year, with Christmas falling on like a Saturday. All the poor teachers had to work till like the 23rd this year. They're still off, I think.
Didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
Didn't mind it, no?
No.
I think I like the build up to Christmas more than the afterwards. It seems like to me kind of when Christmas Day is over, that's what, but the build up to Christmas is nice. So I like having the week off before, but I mean, when you're self-employed, then you don't get vacation days. You don't get paid days off or anything. So it was different for me this year. But I got to go to Dauphin. It was probably the most enjoyable Christmas I've had in the last couple of years or in recent memory for sure. It was just, the weather was good. Travel was good. Everybody's happy, healthy. I mean, the gifts are, once you get older, the gifts are kind of irrelevant, obviously. And it's just nice Grandma was actually in Dauphin with us too. And
nice.
Got to see everybody I wanted to see. So
beauty. That's all it's about, right?
Yeah. You in Brandon most of it?
Yeah, we're in Brandon. I guess Christmas morning we did our thing here at the house and then went over to her parents with her brother and sister-in-law, did gifts and brunch there, then went over to my parents, and then we had some more of that side of the family for supper. That's really, I think I kind of talked to it, maybe not last episode, but one of the episodes leading up to Christmas. It's really not my thing. I kind of hate all the bullshit around it, but as soon as Christmas Day hits, I'm in my element. Loved every second of this Christmas. Last Christmas with COVID, we weren't allowed to leave the house, all that stupid shit. So this was kind of like the real first Christmas with Luca, and him kind of being a little conscious of what's going on, but at the same time, just happy to see something wrapped and he can open it. Like it didn't matter what the hell was inside and just all that stuff that came with it. Other than everything he got makes so much goddamn noise. I'm sick of it. So if anybody future wise, if you're having kids, take batteries out of stuff immediately. It's nuts. It just, there's a car going off on one side of the house and a truck going off on the other side of the house, and then some other play cube that's going off, and they're all going off at the same time. It's just a gong show, but it's fun to see all the happiness that it brings that guy. So that makes it all worth it, I guess. For sure.
Yeah.
What did you guys do for New Year's?
Big game changer. We went to Mertz's in Dauphin. He had 8 of us there and just kind of played baseball and played what's that landmines game where you have to spin the coin and slam your beer on top? I don't know. Just the stuff that 18-year-olds do that you still do when you're 33 years old or 34.
How late did you make it?
Well, I mean, I honestly thought that I wasn't gonna. We drove to Dauphin. We almost bailed. We ended up driving there at like 5 or 6. Didn't think I was actually gonna make it to Mertz's because I was just feeling like dog shit. But I started feeling better. Got outside, and then we went over there at about 9, I think, and stayed till 2. So not much of a change, healthy or not. But she was tough. It was pretty tough the next morning to wake up with a hangover and still in the middle of a cold or a flu.
Yeah.
It was really uncomfortable. It's like a hangover where you can't escape it. You want to just like get away from it, but there's nowhere to go.
Right.
Times 2.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's keep her going. Oh, on that note, my mom, over the holidays brought down this bag of chocolates and said, this is going to be a taste test for the podcast, for the Kngdom. And it was a bag of Big Turks. My first experience with Big Turks.
Unreal, hey?
It was actually pretty good. I did not think that was what Big Turks were.
They're sick. So
I
did you
thought it
get
was
like the little bite-sized ones?
yeah.
Yeah, so good. You like throw them in the freezer for a while, like when they're halfway frozen, they're perfect. Like a Charleston chew, same thing. Put them in the fridge,
Yeah.
mint.
Surprisingly good. I did not expect that.
Yeah, I'll drag people onto my side here.
Yeah, you're converting a lot of people to Big Turk fans. I honestly just didn't know what it was. I thought it was like what's the other big one? Big Mr. Big, or there's another one too. But I thought it was kind of like Mr. Big with nuts and peanuts and chocolate. So
No.
surprisingly, the licorice was good.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Brett in the house tonight. He's been kind of helping a little bit with the 88 sats. He's pretty knowledgeable with that kind of stuff. So there's quite a few people we got. Maybe I'll just wait for that though. We'll get this Golf Saskatchewan right now. We did the Domies last month, covering all the courses in Manitoba. We caused a little bit of controversy with the most overrated course, but we decided to keep it really simple with Saskatchewan. It kind of came out in 1 or 2 days, and we got down to 4 finalists. And I'm going to actually bring them up on the screen here. We're going to kind of go through it, and we're going to talk about – I want to talk about golf websites themselves, because I feel like websites in general are becoming more and more important.
Obsolete.
No, not
Ooh.
obsolete. Why do you say obsolete? Because of apps and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And like Golf Now and stuff like that.
And social media. Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I kind of meant like social media and websites, but
Right. Okay.
I still feel like if golf courses have like a solid website with good pictures and like easy ways to book online and stuff like that, it makes a big difference to me.
Definitely.
So we're going to go through a few of these. We got the top 4 here. The first one is Elk Ridge. And Elk Ridge got the least amount of votes of the 4. But I think it was Boomer Online said that most people probably just haven't played Elk Ridge. And I think that's probably the case with these polls. I mean, we have a small sample size. The good thing is that the majority of people who are voting on these are golfers from Manitoba,
Right.
from Saskatchewan. But it's hard to really vote for a course if you haven't played all 4 of them. And I think looking at this course, Elk Ridge, this is north of Saskatoon, I believe. Up in the Waskesiu area. I think this and Waskesiu are pretty close in geographic regions. But this looks like a 27 hole course. So there's Birch course, Aspen course, and the Tamarack course. And this was the most impressive website that I came across. I kind of looked at the majority of courses that people mentioned and whether voting for or nominating. But this one has a flyover of the holes. It's got pro tips. I like that a lot.
I do too.
Especially if you're going and playing a course for the first time. I feel like this kind of information is so easy to do. If you have anybody who's somewhat technological at the golf course, like do this, because when you're playing a course for the first time, stuff like this, I think, is pretty important.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, it depends exactly where or what, I guess, type of player you are. Like somebody more like me, like if you're just going for the scenery, your score might not be
true
as important to you. So some of this might not be as pertinent, but if you're going there to score well or you're into a tournament, that type of thing, these flyovers on the side, it looks like it even shows like where to hit your drives and stuff like that. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, they're all on YouTube here. And I mean, it would cost courses a little bit to get this done, obviously. But with the technology we have, like this is you take one day of the summer when the course is in good shape and you get a drone out there. You can find anybody. All realtors have these drones now. Find somebody you can fly and just do a flyover. Like, how nice is this to see before you go play a course? I mean, I'm used to playing, like going, to a Phoenix course or even the East Coast. Me and Rigo would look at all these before we played the courses. We're pretty competitive, obviously, just with each other. So it's nice to have any sort of inside edge that we can get. But like this course looks beautiful. And I think that if the majority of people had played this course, they would might have voted
That's
for it
number
over.
one.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I get, anyways. But I love courses like this with 27 holes. You can it frees up the course a little bit. It's easier to get on and a lot more variety too. If you're going on a buddy stag or something, you can play 27 holes, which is unreal.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that's what we did at Rigo's stag in Sask, right?
Yeah, the second course.
The Moon Lake.
Moon Lake, yep.
So we played Moon Lake, and then Bryce, we played Dakota Dunes, which is actually the winner right now. We had a poll on Instagram and Twitter, and Dakota Dunes is at the top spot right now. So that's Elk Ridge. We'll go to Waskesiu. I'm guessing Waskesiu would be pretty similar in the same area. Looks like it's in the same kind of, I believe it's a national park, Prince Albert National Park. Even something like this. Like this is more of a, can you see drums?
Yep.
Okay. This is more like less technological advanced, but it still says like there's a layout there. There's a few pictures of the hole. And then it says the pro says, which is pretty much the same as pro tips.
Right.
But I mean, any pro would be willing to share some inside information on the holes and just help people who have never played there before. Even so, if you played the course 10 times and you've never really picked up on that before, no brainer. Seeing it and hearing what the pro would say about how you should play the course. I guess anybody else in the chat right now, if you've seen any websites that have really impressed you before, drop her in the chat because I want to check them out. I like I said, Elk Ridge was top from what I've seen, but so this is Dakota Dunes.
Sexy.
This is the course in Saskatoon that we played for Rigo's stag.
Just south? Were we south?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe west, southwest. I don't know either. That's my favorite hole right there. I think that's number 16. Par 3.
Man, that still just, it doesn't look like any location around here.
I think that's the cool part about it.
Yeah.
Because you look at an Elk Ridge, you look at a Waskesiu, you look at a Clear Lake Golf Course, you look at Kenosee. Right. They're all kind of in national parks with all the spruce trees around it. Good layouts and very well maintained. But a course like this is something that you don't really see in this area, like a dunes course.
Crazy.
And it was very well maintained. Actually, the staff were surprisingly very well organized, and it was a bit of a shit show there with, I mean, all of us 16 guys trying to get on the course at once, but very friendly, and that makes a big difference too, I think, to me. Plus, there's a casino like a walk away, which is pretty handy if you're on a stag or something like that, or just on a golf trip. It's nice to have a casino in there.
Yeah, they were even like really good, kind of knowing the drill. Like they knew we were all going to be kind of banged up. Like there was no like, you better not do this. They just kind of let us be. Like they were hooting and hollering when we came around the turns, making sure we had booze and stuff once we got by and stuff. Like, yeah, top notch customer service wise.
The greens were really cool too. I think that was kind of part of the terrain and the landscape of it, but
massive, right?
I played links course before, and these are like for Manitoba, Saskatchewan, it was pretty damn good. And so Dakota Dunes was in the top spot so far. There's a couple hours left for the votes to roll in.
Have to make note of the architect for that course, just in case for future reference.
For the 88 Sats?
Yeah.
I wonder if it says on here. Such a good course. And that casino is a lot of fun too, eh? Like it's a nice casino.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I think if I were to make that trip again, I would probably just stay on the resort there.
Yeah, probably. Do you know, like, do they have a shuttle to the course and back? I mean, we didn't. We had our own bus and chauffeur, but I would imagine they've got something set up where they can get back and forth to Saskatoon.
I would think so too. If you did some research on it, I bet you could find that.
And so
was,
is that on
20 minutes
like
out
20
of the
minutes,
city?
eh?
Yeah.
And so is it on a reserve?
I believe so.
Like it's a reservation that owns it. I just don't know if it's right on the reserve itself.
Located on the historical Whitecap Dakota First Nation lands.
Yeah.
Opened in 2004. Yeah, so
It's
such
not
a
that
cool
old,
course.
eh?
No, it's pretty fresh, and you can tell that too. I think it has some maturing to do still, but just the scenery there is unreal. The landscape, all the flowers along the what would you call those? The fescue.
Right.
Fescue is something you don't see around here. So this is the last one. This is Kenosee, one of our personal faves. Probably overlooked a lot just because it's in Saskatchewan, but it's like less than 2 hours from Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't really start going there until we were older, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would
After
probably prefer going there than Clear Lake. And like that was when the bar was going.
yeah.
Like, if we were there when we were 18, 19, 20, you would have had a hell of a time at that. Is it a
Not
resort?
18.
Kenosee Resort? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Not 18. You can't drink in Saski till you're 19. Dummies.
Weirdos.
So this, you can see, like, if you look at the first three, Waskesiu is okay, but like these, you can tell the Kenosee is a little bit lagging in terms of, I don't know, just to me anyways. You can still book a tee time online. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's a good investment to get this stuff, you know, I don't know. When you're looking for golf trips and stuff, this is what you go to.
Right.
And if it's underwhelming and the course is like really good still, like looking at this website, I'm like, it looks okay. But then you go to Kenosee and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like this course is unbelievable. But I just don't get that from this website. So pretty important. But I mean, whatever. I'm sure they'll catch up. You'd think by now, like the internet's not a new thing.
Yeah.
But even the ability to book tee times online, like 3-4 years ago, that wasn't even a thing.
Which it should have been, right?
It should have been, but I mean, you would just call, right? And there'd
Right.
be somebody working there, and
yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that option, but our generation and the ones that follow, we're not quick to make a phone call.
Isn't that the truth?
Murph's dad threw out Lorette here. I just pulled it up.
Sorry.
It does look pretty sick. Decent website.
Murph's dad, the winner of the Aaron Cockrell contest. I'll look up the Lorette Golf Course here.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think one of the big things that every course should have on their website is that flyover.
Yeah,
it's such a good feature.
Golf course layouts. Where is Lorette?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Oh, it's a 9er.
What?
And they got flyovers too.
That's a ball-and-ass 9-hole course.
Down Lorette, first hole. See what?
It's out by Winnipeg, isn't it?
Is it? This is a porno?
Yeah.
The people listening to the podcast are going to be like, are they watching a porno? That is good. Good call, Shane.
So yeah, just a little southwest.
Lorette.
Winnipeg.
So this was another 9-hole course, and this was somebody sent in on Instagram. I forget who it was now. I'll take a real quick look here. Foster Child. I forget who that is. Anyways, he pointed out this golf course, which is called Kapetwa. It's in the Capel Valley, 20 minutes north of Indian Head. So between Brandon and Regina, essentially. And this is a little 9-hole as well. And he sent me his post that he made on Instagram about it. But this course actually looks disgusting. So this is in the Capel Valley. Nine holes. Looks pretty damn nice.
Unreal.
The Capel Valley itself is just beautiful to drive through, and I didn't know that there was any golf courses in there though. And so look at that.
Jesus. So based off of kind of what we've seen picture-wise and what we've played ourselves, you take SAS courses over MB?
I don't know. That's a tough one, actually.
I don't know, man.
I think that Sask
I hate giving anything to
better.
Sask once. Yeah, I hate giving anything to Sask.
I think that the top 4 in Sask would be, I don't know, because like in Winnipeg, there's some really good courses too, but not like these ones.
I don't know.
I would give it to Sask just based on.
I would too.
Ches was just driving through there. Where are you off to, Ches? Okay, so that's that. That is Kapetwa, and I think I'm pronouncing that properly, but I could be wrong. Anyways, very impressive course by the looks of it.
What are we talking for rates?
Let's check it out.
We have the technology.
Except it's not working. No rates available. Oh, there we go. 9 holes, $36. Pretty average. 18's 52. That's cheaper than. Nah, is it? Probably about the same.
Cheaper than what?
What would Wheat City be with a cart? $65?
Yeah, I think you're around 70.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It's tough to knock 9-hole courses just because I like the fact that you get to play it and then you get to play it right after again.
Right.
But it's hard to compete with 18 different holes. And usually with a course, there's a couple throwaway holes. 9-hole courses, usually there's not many holes in there because they did what they could with it. 18, I feel like a lot of courses just kind of stretch it out a little bit to turn it into an 18. Okay, well, we might have a special guest here in 1 second. Hold the phones. Rigo's losing his mind.
Oh.
Seems like the kid wants in. Sorry, folks, for the dead air, but this is what happens when you do a live show. Ches says the city that runs with fun. Regina. Experience Regina. That's got to be one of the greatest videos of all time. We should have. No, everybody's seen that one, I'm sure. Okay, Reggie, the invite's been sent if you're watching this. Join in whenever you want. Also, so these were, we took the top 4. That was Elk Ridge, Waskesiu, Dakota Dunes, and Kenosee. We also had Deer Park, which is in Yorkton. We had White Bear, which is right beside Kenosee. River Run, which I don't know where that is. Waskana is in the city that rhymes with fun, Regina. I never played that course. I didn't know that was the top course there in Regina, Waskana. That got a couple votes, actually. Jordy Lutz said Riverside. There's 2 votes for Riverside as well. And I think that's in Saskatoon. Deer Valley, that was our buddy Cam. Oh, I always forget how to say Cam Toes or Taves. I think Taves.
No, it was Toes, I think.
Is it Toes? He said Deer
Tippy
Valley.
Toes.
We also
no idea,
had
to be honest.
Colton Easton said the most underrated course is called Mainprize. Mainprize, like the main prize.
Sounds like a mini putt course.
Okay, here we go. Okay, hold on. We're gonna let Reggie in here in one sec. But
Oh, Christ.
Shane had a good comment here about what's on the screen right now. Unlimited one-day passes, $400. That can't be right.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Got to be 40.
No, it wouldn't be 40 because that's like less than 9 holes or 18 holes. Okay.
Unlimited
Well, Origo
play.
disappeared.
One-day pass. I can't figure that out.
Me neither. Reggie was here. Now he's gone.
Unless you're playing, well, I don't know. How many rounds would that have to be? That's 72 a pop.
Can someone email Kapetwa Golf Course and try to book a one-day unlimited pass and see what they charge? Reggie, it says your devices are not connected. Okay, well, we're going to get an update from Zona in just one sec once Reggie figures his stuff out here. Anything else we need to discuss on golf Sask? Overall, Drums, as you said, I think the Sask has Manitoba beat overall.
Yeah. Hate to say it, but I don't know. Dunes puts it over the top for me, 100%.
There's nothing like that in Manitoba, I don't think.
I don't think there's much like that in Canada. Hey-o! Oh, fuck. Now we can't talk.
Can't hear you, buddy. No, you were.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Do you got headphones with the mic? We can't hear you.
Okay, well, we'll let Reggie get his stuff figured out here. Oh, he's getting some headphones. Okay, let's keep her going. Ross Sheard is enjoying the show.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Barely.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not whispering.
Well, speak into the mic.
I'm speaking into the mic. You can't hear me?
We can hear you a little bit, but it's pretty fuzzy.
It's from across the room.
That's strange. Oh, you know what? Give me a second here.
Oh,
okay. Well, the show's going to continue here, folks.
Yeah.
Reg was going to join, but he had to leave for supper quicker than expected. From Dad.
Did you get any golf gear for Christmas?
Let me think. I got some Bridgestone golf balls.
Nice.
I got some golf shorts from Reggie. And I think that's it. Did you get anything?
I got a GPS handheld, so I don't have to shake and try to scope shit.
What do you mean? Oh, like a watch?
Yeah, essentially. But it's got a magnet on it, so you can just stick it to the
Oh,
card.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then it comes with like an app. So it has like a flyby of every hole and whatever. It's a Garmin app, I believe. Couple gloves, a bunch of gift cards, Golf Town gift cards. I think I probably got like $800 in Golf Town gift cards.
Whoa! Like
so I gotta figure out something. Yeah, probably over like 3 years. I haven't been to Winnipeg in like 3 years.
Not much reason to go there.
Yeah.
TBH. So we lost Reggie. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to carry on with the show. Let's do some 88 stats. Maybe I'll do a quick update for the people. And then we'll do some questions from Drums that the viewers had, or not the viewers, I guess the viewers and the founders, non-potential founders, and then I'm going to share some ideas that we got going on for future plans. So for those who have made it through the first 40 minutes here, we've had a lot of stuff going on, but hopefully we can answer some of the questions here. If you have any questions about 88 Sats in the meantime, while we're kind of going through some of this stuff, just pop it down in the chat and we'll try to answer the questions for everybody on the fly. So an update on 88 Sats. We have 26 members registered with a Bitcoin wallet. They transferred their Bitcoin into our wallet, which is pretty impressive considering the launch day was yesterday. And I didn't get time to count how many people were kind of waiting on the sidelines, but I would estimate it's over 20 for sure. And those are people who have emailed the 88 Sats looking for more information, and they're just kind of in the process of getting set up right now for getting some Bitcoin and figuring out how to move it to the wallet. So we're going to bring Reggie back. We're going to interrupt the 88 Sats here. See, hopefully this works.
Okay, I think it's working now. Is it working?
Yeah, you're
Yes, sir.
back.
Yeah, I had my phone on silent, I guess. I guess that matters for this.
Muppet.
I don't know. I didn't think it ever would, but
I didn't think so either. How's Zone,
How you
buddy?
know?
good. We just got back from Sedona to watch the third period of the Canada game.
Oh, geez, we didn't even talk about that.
Pretty
Yeah, I
sick
know.
finish there. Sedona's a pretty crazy place. It was fun today hiking there. Found out that I'm still in fact scared of heights at one point, but Easton, but there's we don't need to get into this on here, but apparently Sedona's like a super like spiritual place, like a bunch of like
Yeah, I was there.
there's vortexes and shit, and so we went up this one, and Easton was just looking for these places that had the vortexes, so we ended up going. What was it called? Cathedral Pass or something, or
Yeah, is it like underground almost or in caves?
this one wasn't, but it was like called Cathedral Rock. And anyways, she didn't check like the difficulty. Man, we got like 3/4 of the way up, and I just started like I had like a panic attack. Like I just had to like scale down on my ass because it was wet, and I had Nike runners on. I didn't have like hiking
Oh,
shoes.
geez.
Holy shit, man! I was like, no, I'm out. I'm out of here.
So it was like a big hike then.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a short one. We went on a different one too. There's a bunch of places to hike there, but
Did they take you out in like a bus?
no, we drove.
Oh, okay.
But there's so many cool things in that town. Hey, like it's like I don't know. We just drove through it quick to get to this other hike, but yeah, it's been good. I played.
Good. Definitely weird energy there.
Yeah, it was. I felt that today. I played boulders yesterday. I got an online rate like the morning of the round, and I was supposed to be paired up with a twosome, and whatever happened, there might be some people in the chat. I can't see the chat. That have played boulders, but we played the southern course, which is like the resort course, and I don't know if like what the hell happened at that course yesterday, but like I ended up getting it for like super cheap, and then I was supposed to play with two others, and I ended up all alone. So we got like a lot of sick content from boulders because I was by myself, so we could basically just do whatever the hell we wanted to do.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
nice.
key.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'd say it was a sweet course. Like I said, I can't see the chat, but I haven't booked around yet for tomorrow. It'll be my last round. And if anybody in the chat has any ideas, I know I asked on Twitter, but see if anybody in here has anything as well. But what are you guys up to? Go on with the 8 Sats.
No, have you been watching it all? We were talking about Golf Sask for the first 40 minutes here.
I saw the social media stuff. Did we crown a champion or no?
Not officially, but I think Dakota Dunes is in the top spot.
Yeah, that was a pretty sweet place.
Yeah, baby.
Actually, the top three were Waskesiu, Kenosee, and then number one was Dakota Dunes. But like looking at the website of Elk Ridge and kind of
Elk
what
Ridge
I've
is
heard,
probably the nicest course.
that's what I thought too. I just don't think anybody's really played there before.
No,
That was
it's
the other
getting
one at
some-
Waskesiu. I don't know why that choked me up.
East and I were actually trying to go there for a honeymoon this summer, but by the time we went there, or by the time we were trying to go, it was like completely booked. And I got chatting with this lady that like had a place there that wasn't like listed yet on Airbnb. So I was chatting for like 2 days, like we were trying to make plans to see whether or not we could stay there. And then I was like, you know what? Before we go any further, let's talk price. It was like $780 a night for Airbnb. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a no for me. Like,
Was it a
Holy.
palace?
it was a nice place. Yeah, when she was describing it, I was like, oh, this seems too good to be true. And then it was.
It was. That was Elk
See
Ridge.
you
Rigo?
never, lady.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to say
Waskesiu. Waskesiu.
gonna- I feel like that's a really rich area.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, people would probably say the same about like Clear Lake too. So
Yeah. Oh my
um,
God. Okay, I gotta just tell one quick story here. I was gonna wait till next week's podcast, but
what?
it's like so I got here and I went in. We're staying at like a golf resort here. And I went in to check in first, and East waited out in the car, and I went into this place, man, and I checked in the resort, and they're like, you got to go talk to concierge over there. So I went and talked to the concierge. They're like, you got to go talk to concierge. They have a gift basket for you. And I'm like, okay. So I go over there, and it's like a what's it called? Timeshare, like a timeshare win and rewards program.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I got sucked in so hard. And they made me put down a down payment for $40, and then they gave me a bottle of wine and like booked us a timeshare appointment. But the only reason I did it was to get like they gave us $100 for the resort, so I wanted to play the golf course here for free. So I made Easton sit through this meeting with me in the timeshare thing to play here. But so we expected it to be like one of those timeshare presentations when you go in and there's like 20 people watching like a PowerPoint. It was just us. It was just us two with this sales guy, man, and he was trying so hard. Like, we had to sit through 90 minutes of him trying to sell his timeshares.
Oh my God.
It was so painful, man. He was like sweating by the end. Like, he's like telling us how he just went through like a separation, and like he needed this job, and he's living in an apartment, and then he's like trying to like, okay, we don't really want it, and he's like trying to convince us that we do, and it was like so awkward. It was like crazy, man. But we got the $100.
Did you get it?
We got the 100, and then me and East actually ended up golfing here Twilight. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that probably covered the most of it.
And
have you guys ever had those?
And
in,
we bought the timeshare.
Have you guys ever had those in Mexico when you were on?
I haven't been, but Dad goes to them all the time.
Yeah, Dad always.
So one time, I don't even know. Like, I think it was a family trip in Mexico, and when we got there, like the whole family had to sign up, and everybody was like, "You don't actually have to go to these things." So, anyways, I had it in my mind that I had to go to this thing at like 9 o'clock in the morning the one day. So I woke up like 1 hour sleep, just hung over as shit. And it's like 5 to 9. I'm like, I gotta get to this fucking meeting. Like, Jesus Christ. So I'm sprinting across the entire place. And I get into it, and it's me and like 4 Oriental families. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so they start the presentation. None of my family's there. Like a family wedding. So like 50 of my family I'm expecting to see when I walk in there. And it's just me and like 3 Asian families. And I'm, oh shit. So I immediately stand up. The guy's like, wrong room. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. And he's like, we'll see ya. Thanks for coming.
I really don't think it's worth it to spend your time on vacation in those things. I don't know.
Insane.
Hey man, ended up we got the $100. We golfed Twilight, and I got Easton instead of rental clubs. So it cost me $50 total.
For all that,
$50 total for the 2 rounds and the rental clubs. But now I got to spend another $1,000 because Easton was absolutely striping these Callaway clubs. So I'm gonna have to get home.
Yeah, just throw them in the car and way back.
We were playing with these 2 old guys, and she was just chucking darts on the par 3s, and they were just going crazy.
they were they got nice Callaway clubs for women now.
What were they?
So nice.
Callaway Rogue, I think they were nice.
They were ladies though.
The orange ones, yeah.
Oh yeah, those are sick.
Yeah, she was dialed with them, man.
So nice.
Hey,
She just hammered the driver a couple times.
Reggie, have you ever played Kapetwa Golf Course 9-hole?
No, it was right beside where I lived in Fort, though. But
That's what I thought.
I never did get out there.
Looks
Apparently,
amazing.
it's sick.
Yeah, That's what we were looking at pictures on. Somebody tipped us off there. Do you know who Foster Child is on Instagram? That's his name.
Who?
Foster Child.
I don't know.
I feel like it's like Mitch something. Anyways, Bryce is wondering how Topgolf was. You're sending us some snaps last night about it.
Oh, Topgolf was unreal. And then, like, did you see the snaps? Oh no, I guess I would. Did you see the
You sent us videos.
The talking stick casino in the back?
Nope.
No.
Anyways, I went there after and rinsed them, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Did you?
It's usually what happens when I gamble. It's not a big deal that I went there and cleaned them out of their money, but no, Topgolf is sick as always.
Where was that, in Scottsdale?
Yeah, we went to the Scottsdale one. And talking stick casinos right in the back, and then we went there, and I was down to like my last $10. And I ended up coming out with like $340. So
Nice.
if you guys know me, that's it was actually that Easton was there, and every time I'd win like a big piece, I would just throw her the chips that I won, and she was just putting them in her purse, so I didn't have access to them. And next thing you know, we had like $350.
Well, that's a really smart move, actually. I usually do that with like 50s or 100s. I just throw them in my separate pocket and forget about them, and then that's what I have at the end of the night.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. But Ches, we're staying at the Legacy Golf Club. It's I think it's actually, somebody commented on Twitter that this is where the Canadian national team has been practicing, and I don't doubt it, because it has like a Golf Channel like practice facility at the back of the range, so you go past it when you're playing the course, drive past it, and it looks like a really sick, like it's an indoor outdoor facility there at the back. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were using it. It's a really nice facility here. It's just a cool resort, actually. We've been going to the hot tub every night, and it says it closes at like 9:30, and we've been there till like after 12, like every night here. So we met a lot of cool people actually in the hot tub already. So it's good.
Do you take your own gear to Topgolf?
Yeah, that's what Brad just asked in the chat.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Well, some people did, but I felt like.
But do they just have a bunch of clubs you can hit, or what?
The left-handed clubs were shit, man.
Are they all Callaways there though?
No, they're just Topgolf.
Would you prefer to bring your own clubs? Because we've taken our own clubs there before, Rigo.
It doesn't really matter, honestly.
No.
I mean, it does, because I was hitting a pitching wedge the whole time last night, but whatever.
Doesn't Callaway own Topgolf? Like, you'd think they'd be decked out in Callaway clubs.
You know, they could be Callaway clubs drums. I never thought about that. They just have the Topgolf logo on the back.
Oh, to be like Kirkland's.
That's what they kind of seem like, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet. We obviously disappointing not going to Mexico, but this has been a really good second choice. It's been
awesome. We won't.
Yeah, I'll say
we won't.
When you back,
we won't poke you on Mexico.
Not back till we're actually gonna. We flew out of Grand Forks, so we're gonna fly back into Grand Forks, and then Reese plays Saturday night, so we're gonna go watch that game and then come home Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should be. It sounds like it's going to be some nice weather when you get back too, which is always nice coming home from a hot holiday.
Yeah, it hasn't been too good here, honestly. Not much of a hot holiday. This is like record lows for them, but it's okay.
Oh, really?
It hailed Tuesday, like it stormed like crazy. No, Monday, I think.
It's probably the carbon tax we've been paying that's changing the weather here for us, cooling things down.
Yeah, doing our part.
Brycer says Elk Ridge and Waskesiu trip definitely worth it. Both unreal courses. Don't know Brycer. Could be Bryce Giroux. Could be Bryce. Who else, Rigo? What other Bryces we know? I
think that's probably who it would be.
Be good to see Brycer in the chat. Started a new job a couple of weeks ago or a month ago now, probably. What do we got here? Barrett. Aren't the Topgolf balls a lot harder with the chips in them, hard on clubs? Could be. That would make sense.
Didn't really seem like it, but
not like the glow balls we use at Rossman Lake.
I was thinking, I wish I had those the other day, man. When we played this course here, like it was cheap because we teed off at 240, and we actually ended up. I got 15 holes in, but I mean, that's pretty. It's so like it's like peak season right now for some reason for golf, and it's really expensive at a lot of places. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody
Yeah, I
from
guess
here
a
is
lot of the
down there, right?
snowbirds going down and whatever.
yeah, January 1st, of course, is when it changed over, and we got here the 31st. So it's good.
I would highly the golf courses in the area and everywhere are going to hate this, but I would highly recommend everybody ordering some glow balls on Amazon. They're like $30. You get 6 balls, throw them in your golf bag or in your vehicle. And it's nice to have on the golf course when it's getting a little dark and you want to play a couple extra holes. You just bring those out. That was a Mikkel Sabaski special here. That's kind of what got us into it this summer, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Such a good investment. Probably the best investment of the year, 2022.
I would say so.
Reg, you got any New Year's resolutions before we round out with 88 sats here? Or you haven't had time to think of them yet?
Did you get any golf gear for Christmas?
Just balls, I think. And I got a putting thing that doesn't work. like one of those ones you putt into
Like a
and
mat?
fire back at you.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
just the cup. There's no mat. It's just the cup,
Oh,
which
yeah.
would actually work out good at our house because it's all carpet. But
Mom and Dad got us these really cool. Looks like they were actually 3D printed. They were like things that you put on top of the ball, and they come with like a design in them, and you just basically fill them in with a marker. So I'm sure you've seen those before. These are a little bit
Oh,
different.
like a stencil?
Stencil, yeah, but it's like made out of like the 3D printer hard plastic, and it wraps around the ball, and you need a really fine print marker to be able to put your design on there, but it actually looks kind of cool. Cheaper.
Great.
It's the Ukrainian version of getting custom balls.
Love it.
New Year's resolution would be to get into better shape. I've found I'm in pretty tough shape hiking around the last couple of days. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you fit through the Fat Man's Pass there pretty easily. It
Yeah.
looked like.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
got
that was
going for
a
you.
really cool hike. If anybody's in this area, that's a cool hike to check out. It was called the Hidden Valley Trail
How'd you find it?
East.
It sounds like we're going to be going to PEI this summer, so we'll have to get some good hikes in there. I love a good hike myself.
Definitely.
Okay.
Except not the expert trails. Good
So
God.
what was so hard about it? Just the air pressure? You said
Oh
it
my
wasn't that
God,
steep.
man. It was steep.
Well, how high up?
The part when I packed it in, it was like wet, and then it was like you had to scale up probably how far would it have been 15 feet?
Scaling means like basically rock climbing, right?
Like there was a crevice and you had to scale up both sides of it to try to get up. It was probably like 30 feet. And I went like the first 4 feet and I got my Nikes on and the rock was wet. And every time I went to push up for the next one, my shoes were like sliding out. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like might be able to make it up, but there's no chance I'm making it down.
Like, what do you mean scale it?
Like there was nothing to get onto. There's nothing to take your feet into.
It's just a rock wall, and you got up it.
It's just like the side of a rock. It's just like on an angle like this, and then a crack in between, and you just had to like basically crawl on your hands and knees to
get up.
Oh my God! And I don't like heights, and we were like almost at the top of it by then, and I was just like, no.
So like, can you go on your roof at home?
Oh yeah, this was like drums. This was pretty high up, and I don't know. It was an expert hike in Arizona. Like it was like it's not.
Yeah, it's no joke.
A little different than the expert hikes in Riding Mountain.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty crazy, but whatever. I bitched out. Just to rip the ass out of my pants trying to slide down on the rock. I wasn't. But
we're not going to hold against you. We'd rather have you here than not here. So good call.
All right.
Okay, let's carry on. Rigo, are you going to stick around for the 88 sats update here?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So what I think where we're at there was we have 26 members in. We have 20 people at least who have emailed looking for information, getting their Bitcoin set up. There's 88 spots available. I'm thinking there's more than 20 people actually who have reached out and said that they're interested. So I wouldn't say that there's a huge rush to get in on it, but I also wouldn't wait very long, because I think that once we put out a little bit more information in terms of the longer term vision of it, which I'm going to talk about here in just a sec, but I think it'll fill up pretty fast, because I did mention, and we do have some ironing out to do still in terms of with Rigo and Dad and whoever else. But we're going to hopefully convert some of the people, if they're wanting to, and if done properly, decentralized King Golf, where we take some ownership and give it to people who are wanting to grow King Golf with us, whether that's through the sale of the gear, the new designs, bringing people into this 88 Sats membership program. And I think that there'll be some people out there, I think anyways, who knows, it's tough to say, but I think it'll fill up pretty quick once we announce those on the social media. So even yesterday, I mean, we put out a post about it, and I think we had 6 or 7 new members just off of that yesterday. So there is a bit of a barrier still. People are hesitant in terms of the Bitcoin part of it, because they don't really know how to get into Bitcoin. And so there's a bit of a learning curve there and hesitancy, but I think it's been pretty smooth so far. So Drums, start us off with some questions here. See what we can do to answer.
The first question we'll throw at you is, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, how do we know that you aren't thieving?
We talked about this a little bit on the last episode, comparing me to SBF. I think Drum said JTH, which is pretty close, TJH. But anyways, the way we're going to do it is we're actually going to, once we have the 88 members, we're going to have a vote for everybody who's a member is going to have a vote on it. And we're going to decide who gets to hold the wallets. And if people want to hold a wallet, they can put in a little application form. They can say why we should trust them with it, why they think they deserve to have, not deserve, but why we should leave the responsibility in their hands. So essentially what we're going to do is it's called a multi-sig wallet. And so we're going to have 3 wallets set up. And in order to move any Bitcoin out of the wallets, you have to have 2 people sign it. So we're going to have 3 wallets. If I decided that I wanted to move all the Bitcoin out, I won't be able to do that, because you're going to need 2 signatures, right? And so I'm thinking it'll be an in-depth process, but I think once it's worked out, it'll be pretty smooth, and it'll be almost impossible for somebody to move it out of there. And I mean, it's pretty easy to say that, but we're also, I mean, we're putting King Golf behind this. I'm putting my name, like my face behind this. If anything goes wrong, it's kind of on me, obviously. So I don't think there's going to be any sort of funny business that I can pull off anyways. But yeah, it's a good question for sure. Reggie, you got any thoughts? You going to thieve some?
I probably will, but
figure out a way to do it.
I got to try to pay for my round tomorrow somehow. So I'm not going to take a lot of sats, but I'll take a little bit of sats just to.
No more, what are those things called? No more presentations for you?
Yeah.
Or I might just go absolutely rinse the casino again. I don't know for sure.
Ches said that he's trying to connect you with somebody to play Whisper Rock tomorrow.
Oh my God, that'd be sick.
You should check with DMDI.
Well, we'll see.
I don't like it's the Canadian national team. Like, that's him, right?
Yeah. Whisper Rock's where Phil plays.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's next, Drum?
This is a big question. Phil Kessel or Phil?
Oh,
probably both actually now. Actually, I've been. I just woke up to play with Tyler Bozak this week, Drums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Britt's staying at his place.
Sweet.
Like cousin Britt, I was gonna play with him and his brother.
Justin.
I've heard he's unreal.
Brother, yeah. Hey, Tyson? Or Tyler, sorry? I'm all rattled. Yeah. You just said Justin, yeah, Tyler. Apparently he is. Apparently he's like getting up to scratch and he wanted to play somewhere. Or because he's not playing anymore, eh?
Right.
I didn't realize that. I thought he was still playing this year in St. Louis.
So did I until you said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's retired and he wanted to move to a place where he could play golf every day.
So I think the golf game. Not a bad play.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. But he mentioned playing at Greyhawk, I think it was, and it's like $450 a round. So I pulled
Back
the
out of that
parachute.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question is, are there contracts to be signed up to confirm ownership?
Yes. So once we have all the 8 founders, I'm actually trying to get a lawyer involved, not involved like, but I want to have somebody actually within the group who's a lawyer and can kind of make sure we're doing things properly. And so I'm actually meeting with someone tomorrow. And once that's done, we'll probably send out a contract and like a documentation that people will need to sign. You're going to have to submit like basic information, similar to if you were buying a share in a company and they need your verification, they need your name, contact, address, blah, 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 just to verify ownership of it. And so once we have that, we'll do the KYC stuff and send it out to people and they'll sign it. We'll keep it all in one place. And I have everybody's cost base. So depending on how things go with the government policy and stuff with Bitcoin, I just want to make sure that we have everything being done properly. Sorry, everybody. I want to make sure that everything's done properly in terms of tracking the cost base in dollars and Satoshis, obviously. And so you'll have your cost base and you'll have all your information, and that'll be part of your contract as well.
Can the monthly membership fee be paid annually instead?
I believe so. We're still kind of looking at the best platforms to use for a membership subscription type deal. Patreon is kind of the obvious thing, but it just seems like a little, I don't know. People might have a hard time signing up for a Patreon account for this. So if anybody has heard of like a good membership platform to use that we could sign everybody up on and pay through that, there's always,
OnlyFans.
What's that? OnlyFans, yeah. But there's usually like a monthly fee, and then if you pay an annual fee, you get a bit of a reduction on it, I believe. So we'll probably offer something similar to that.
Is it user friendly, Drums, or no?
OnlyFans? Super user friendly.
If it's $8 a month for people, we'll probably put it as like $100 for the whole year. That's something like that. Only sats, yeah, I like that. Brett says 88 sats annual hockey game. We're gonna do some cool stuff like that, and we're gonna get to that in just a sec here too. But Bryce says 88 sats shareholder meeting in Vegas. I mean, that's how I foresee this going in the future. Obviously, it's not going to be this year or next year, but like down the road, that's how I kind of see this whole thing playing out. Is stuff like that. So, next question, Drumsy.
I know nothing about Bitcoin. Should I still consider joining?
Joining, yeah, of course. I think that probably half the people who have, out of the 26, I'd say at least 13 of the members, at least half, own 0 Bitcoin before joining. And the process itself is very easy to do. If you've ever sent an e-transfer before to anybody, the ShakePay is very easy to navigate. So if you've done that before, you shouldn't have any issues with getting the Bitcoin and sending it to the wallet. And the guide that we have goes through it pretty much step by step, and it shows you what your screen should look like before you send it in. And so I just think it's a really good way for people to get their toes wet into Bitcoin without really going full off the deep end. If you like golf, I think that's the number one prerequisite for this. And then you can always learn the Bitcoin parts after. But if you don't golf at all, I think it's kind of going to be a waste of time for you. I'd say golf first, Bitcoin second.
This is a big question.
Okay.
What course are we buying?
It's all relative, right? Like it's tough to say what we're going to have in 10 years.
I know which course you two are buying. You'd probably sell your souls to own it.
I would start an OnlyFans to do that. Yes.
And I'd probably buy Gilbert, but it's the municipality that owns it. So
yeah, we'll
buy the municipality.
Yeah, we could maybe we'll buy the whole damn town. Yeah.
Should we just buy a province?
The thing about this, I think that'll make it unique in a lot of ways, is that after the 5th year, we're going to start voting on the course. So say that Bitcoin at the time, our one Bitcoin turns into $5 million in 5 years from now. we can decide if we want to buy a golf course now or if we want to hang on for another year, 2 years, 3 years. And we can kind of figure out amongst ourselves if it's a good time to do it, or if we should wait to maybe get a Pebble Beach instead of Oak Island.
Next one was, I live in Nova Scotia. Does it make sense for me to own a share?
That's actually a tough question to answer, honestly, because I think that the majority of people geographically wise in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, I think that they'll get the most benefits, just kind of what else we have planned in the long term in terms of being part of the founders and the members and kind of what that's going to entail. But I mean, if you're somebody in Nova Scotia who just wants to kind of be a part of a group that's involved in Bitcoin and you believe in Bitcoin and the value of it going up over time, I mean, it's $200. So you're not risking you're mortgaging your house on this. Something to do if you want to, you know, join some guys in the prairies and cheer for Bitcoin to go up. Then we actually had somebody in Nova Scotia last week reach out and said that they were searching for how to use ShakePay or something and came across the 88 Sats video and wanted to join.
Cool. Next one was, can we get hoodies made up for the founders?
Hell yes.
We're definitely going to do that. Actually, Waters sent me one of his designs that he's got going on for the 88 Sats hoodie already. So that'll be in the works. We're going to do a bunch of cool stuff like that, whether, you know, we'll do a design for a hoodie and everybody will get one as part of the membership, or, you know, we'll maybe sell them for $100 and some of the proceeds will go into the fund. And that's how we're going to keep building the fund up. It's not just going to be the initial investment. We're going to be doing stuff to grow the fund, right? Because if everybody contributes their set amount of Bitcoin, we'll have less than a Bitcoin. And I really wanted to get above and beyond one Bitcoin to really see the full potential. And we got a lot of ideas for that. So hoodies will be a small part of that.
How will we be paying the membership fees?
That's kind of what we talked about just a little while ago. If anybody has any suggestions for that, let us know, and I'll probably be reaching out to the members or the founders here soon to see if they have anything. I'm going to be doing some research on it, but it'll be something where it's a recurring $8 fee on your credit card every month, and you don't have to worry about it.
When will we have our first monthly meeting?
I said when we got to 20 members, but I think that it'll be more valuable once we have at least 30, 40 in there, I think, just for people's time and not wasting time. So I'd say once we get at least halfway to 88, we'll start doing monthly meetings.
And the last one everybody had was, how do we get to decide the board of directors?
For the first year, people are going to have to apply. So if you're a founder, you can send in, if you want to do it, you can send in an application. We're going to handpick the board members for the first year. And the reason for that is because I don't think it would be beneficial for 88 people who don't really know each other to be voting for board of directors, you know. So we're going to hand select for the first year for 2023. And then come January 1st, 2024, we're going to do a vote. So all the 88 founders, if they like the way things are going with the current board members, vote to keep them. If they want to vote somebody out, they can do that too.
Sweet.
Had a couple questions in the chat from Brett saying Bitcoin people need to hurry up and make some good software for memberships. Yeah. Recurring sats. Sell your 1% on opening day. Oh shit. Sorry. Do you guys understand that one? Sell your 1% to someone on opening day that missed out. Yeah. I mean, that'd be a pretty good idea. I wouldn't want to do it myself, but I mean, you wait 10 years for a golf course and then sell your share the first day it opens. I feel it'd be a good, you know, financial decision, but I think that kind of defeats the point of it all, right? Everyone's member on their number. Yeah. On their shirt. That's what we've been, I have the spreadsheet going with everybody's names, number, cost base, tracking it. And so it's like, one was DD22, JH8. So everybody kind of has their initials and then their number. So that would be kind of, what's that?
What's another one?
RH17. Oh, yes. Okay. So Brett was saying about the Nova Scotia guy, if he wanted to just hang on for 10 years, that would be a pretty good investment, I would think, if he's not going to be able to really take advantage of the golf course in Manitoba. Brett also says Learn Discord will be a fantastic platform for the community. Yeah, we're going to have a Discord channel for sure for the founders, and then probably at a secondary level for the members outside of that. So that's pretty good, I think, for the night. I hope everybody's happy with those answers. I don't know. If you're not, then pluck off. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're not forcing this on anybody. If you don't want to join it, if you don't want to be a part of it, then just don't be.
Yeah.
Simple.
Pluck off.
Pluck off.
So I think that's it for 88 Sats. A couple things that we did have, and I kind of threw this out as a teaser the other day in terms of the Instagram post, because there are a few details that Reg and Dad and I need to work out, and maybe some legal stuff as well. But kind of how I foresee it is all the members it's going to be kind of mixed in with King Golf. So even though King Golf is going to be separate from it, we're going to try to tie it in. And for people who are interested and want to, hold some equity in King Golf over time, we're going to be doing both commissions for people who are promoting King Golf and points, I guess, in a point structure where if you've held a share long enough and you have X amount of points that you've sold, then you can qualify for a percentage of King Golf. So I think that'll be enticing to some, I would think anyways. I don't know for sure, but I think it'll be pretty cool just to tie it all together. Bryce is wondering, can you buy more than one share? No, it's one share per person. We really want to keep everything as decentralized as possible. And so it's going to be one share per person.
Yeah.
You could create a fake alias with Thailand Bryce, maybe, but
You mean Byland Trice?
Obi Trice.
Byland Trice. Game. Unreal. Yeah, I gotta wrap it up here. We gotta get for supper here. It's like 9 o'clock already.
Well, Reggie, it was good to see you, buddy. Thanks for hopping on.
I got a round tomorrow. Then where do you think I would go after the round or before the round in any city I go to?
You got what?
Where do you think I'm going to go tomorrow? Before or after the round? I'm not sure when. But I have to mix it in every city that has one. Big Phoenix Zoo tomorrow, baby.
No.
Of course, have to.
You a zoo guy?
Good?
And then, oh God, am I a zoo guy? And then we're gonna go to Suns game on Friday, and that'll wrap up the trip.
Have you ever been to
game, so.
Have you ever been to an NBA game?
No.
Electric.
They're playing the Heat, so Kyle Lowry will be in town.
They're so much fun.
Yeah, I've heard they're really good, so we're gonna try to check that out. Tickets are a little steep right now, but hopefully they go down Friday.
All right, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your trip. Hopefully you find a good track.
We should probably wrap things up. Hey, Drumsy?
Yeah, probably could. We can bounce.
If anybody has any other questions, just feel free to message me. I'll respond with a text right away. Even the people who sent some of these questions in, I just responded to them too. But I feel like we should just I want to be transparent, obviously, as possible with all this kind of stuff. So I figured we'd do it on the pod tonight. And when Reggie's back next week, we'll kick off the 2023 Kngdom season. We got some exciting guests coming up. I think some people will be surprised to see who's coming on. But again, Happy New Year to everybody. I'll let Drums sign her off. But thanks, everybody, for chiming in the chat tonight, for being part of the 88 Sats group. It's pretty special to be this early into something. And I think we got some very exciting things to come with that. So take it away, Drums.
Yeah, exactly. Like George said, again, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. Reggie, enjoy the rest of your trip. We'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody. Love you, boys. Later.
Love you, fellas. See you next week.